What do you think it takes to make a judge so mad that they say no bail in less than 10 seconds? Well, you're about to find out because Diddy said something so bad and scary that the judge had no choice but to throw out his request to get out of jail right away. We're talking about $50 million bribes, scary messages to jury people, and blackmail stories that are so serious, the judge basically said, "This man is never getting out, and don't worry. I have the exact video of Diddy breaking down in court." So, what's good, everyone? So, in the past few days, Diddy's court hearing turned into a complete mess. This isn't just your regular, "oh, he can't get out of jail" situation. We're talking about maybe trying to trick jury people, blackmail, and some secret evidence that just came out that changes everything. The judge literally said that no rules, and I mean 0 rules, could keep the community, witnesses, or victims safe if Diddy was let out. That's crazy, and here's where it gets wild. Fresh evidence about maybe bribing people and threats just showed up. That made the judge lose his mind. Trust me. By the end of this video, you're going to understand why this judge was so angry and why Diddy's staying in jail no matter what. Alright, let me break this down for anyone who missed what happened. Diddy was found guilty, and he's supposed to get his punishment in October. He was going to get out in about a year, but there's a problem. The judges keep saying no to letting him out on bail. This has happened multiple times already. The judge basically said, "Nope, you're staying in jail until your punishment time." And here's why that's a big deal. The judge decided he's way too dangerous to let out. Even Cassie's lawyer said no to his release, saying Diddy would be dangerous to victims and the community. That should tell you everything you need to know about how scared people are of this man. But what's different now is that fresh evidence of maybe bribing people and threats just came to light. We're talking about secret recordings, insider stories from court people, and some seriously messed up stuff that explains why the judge was so mad. And honestly, when you hear what maybe happened, you'll understand why keeping Diddy locked up was the only choice. So, let's start with the big news. Sean Diddy Combs had his bail completely denied while he's waiting for his punishment. And I'm not talking about a normal no, this was a complete shutdown. If you didn't see the Diddy verdict, let me pull it up on screen. So, as you can see, he is found not guilty for the crimes that were supposed to put him in jail for a longer time.
Good morning, my neighbors. As the sun rises, I have an announcement I want you all to hear. I am returning. Yes.
Now, the judge's reasoning was crystal clear. No rules for release could make sure the community, witnesses, or victims would be safe. That's a pretty strong thing to say, right?
Judge, by making this statement, essentially is giving a bit of a heads up that perhaps jail time is in fact what he will actually hand down to Sean Diddy Combs when the sentencing does in fact occur. I will also say that this indicates that the judge believes there were no conditions of release that could have been met that would have satisfied the court in terms of whatever pending threat there may have been to society.
But here's what really shows you how serious this is. Cassie's lawyer actually sent a letter saying no to Diddy's release. They straight up said Diddy would be dangerous to victims and the community. When your supposed victim's lawyer is actively fighting to keep you in jail, that's not a good look. And get this wasn't even the first time. Diddy had already been told no for bail 3 times by different judges before the trial. 3 times. That's basically the court system saying, "We don't trust this guy at all." But here's the crazy part that shows you how twisted this whole situation is. When Diddy returned to prison, the inmates gave him a standing ovation. His lawyer said the inmates see his win against the federal government as a great achievement. I mean, what kind of world are we living in when beating serious federal charges gets you a hero's welcome in prison? Now, let's talk about some of the controversial evidence that's been coming out, and trust me, this stuff is wild. First up, Cassie is dealing with her own legal troubles now. She's fighting a lawsuit from a male escort named Clayton Howard, who says some pretty serious stuff. He says Cassie controlled him, got pregnant with his child, had an abortion without him knowing, and gave him a disease.
I was an economic position where I really needed the money. 2, Mr. Combs is incredibly powerful, and Ms. Ventura had no problem in her use of that power. There's a side for that people don't, a side that manipulated Sean Combs' power, a side that embraced his power, his position to do things that she wanted.
But that's not even the craziest part. You know what Diddy's fans did to celebrate his verdict? They literally started rubbing baby oil on their bodies. I'm not even joking. There are videos of people celebrating by covering themselves in baby oil. And it gets worse. Here's another video where a woman in a blue wig is dancing while another person pours baby oil on her. It's absolutely gross. Like, what is wrong with people? This is supposed to be a celebration. It just shows you how deep this whole thing goes, and how some people are completely disconnected from reality. Now, we're getting to the really serious stuff that may be made. The judge go absolutely nuts. We're talking about $50 million bribery stories that could change everything. So, here's what maybe happened. Diddy tried to silence the jury with a $50 million bribe. And this isn't just some random rumor. There's a pattern here, because Diddy has a history of bribing people. Remember that court document that showed how he promised an R&B rapper a Grammy if they slept with him? But here's where it gets really interesting. There's a supposed leaked secret story from a court insider that says the judge was very angry about the illegal jury bribery attempt, according to this source. That's why the judge immediately canceled Diddy's bail. Now, I can't confirm if this is 100% true yet, but I'm keeping my eyes on this case because if it is true, that explains everything. That would explain why the judge was so mad and why there was absolutely no way Diddy was getting out, but the bribery wasn't the only thing that maybe made the judge mad. There are also blackmail stories because Diddy may have threatened the jury to rule the verdict in his favor. And speaking of threats, 50 Cent received a supposed blackmail text on Instagram after Diddy's verdict, but you know what 50 Cent did? He posted this sarcastic tweet with a scared AI image saying, "Oh my goodness, itty bitty Diddy wants me dead. I have to lay low. I think I'm going to hide out at the playoff game tonight. Lol." That's such a perfect 50 Cent response. He's basically saying he doesn't give a crap about Diddy's threats. But here's the thing. While 50 Cent might not be scared, the jury probably was. And if Diddy can blow up Kid Cudi's car and might have been involved with the Tupac shooting, there are great chances he might have threatened the jury this time, too. The celebrity reactions to all this have been absolutely wild, and they're exposing some serious stuff about Hollywood. Kesha came out supporting Cassie, saying, "Cassie, I believe you. I love you. Your strength is a beacon for every survivor." But then Roseanne Barr dropped an absolute bombshell. She says the entire verdict was rigged to save Hollywood elites and claims that if real prosecutions happened, it would trigger a collapse that exposes everything. Her exact quote was, "It goes to the royals of the world, not just Hollywood. It's the devil's world. They want to destroy us."
Final question on this topic, since of course it is your expertise. What do you think would happen if there was an honest prosecution of people at Diddy parties, people on the Epstein list? Do you think that anybody would be left standing in Hollywood? Is it that in-depth?
I think it goes to the royals of the world, the kings and queens. That's how they get there. Come on, it isn't just Hollywood. It's everything. It's the devil's world. And it's up to us to wrestle it back and fix it and keep their ass out. They gotta go.
That's some heavy stuff right there, and it makes you wonder how deep this really goes. But here's something really suspicious that most people missed. Christina Courtroom was Diddy's right-hand woman for 8 years, but she never got a subpoena. Why didn't Diddy's version of Ghislaine Maxwell show up to the trial? That seems pretty convenient, don't you think?
Didn't even bring in Christina Courtroom, who was Diddy's right-hand woman for 8 years. She helped organize these freedom parties. She was like the Ghislaine Maxwell for Jeffrey Epstein. But at the end of the day, let's not get riled up by this news cycle. It's a small club with dirt on each other. Thankfully, we ain't in that club.
And remember when Ricky Gervais slammed the Hollywood elite circle on stage, risking his entire career? That was him calling out this exact same system that we're seeing protect Diddy.
Room are some of the most important TV and film executives in the world. People from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ronan Farrow. He's coming for you. He's coming for you. Look, talking of all you perverts, it was a big year It was a big year for pedophile movies.
This whole thing is way bigger than just one person. It's about a system that protects certain people and how judges like this one are finally saying enough is enough. Look, here's the bottom line. The judge saw through all the corruption and said absolutely not to bail, and honestly, I think he made the right call. Sean Diddy Combs is set for punishment in October, and with all these stories flying around, I don't think he's getting out anytime soon. But this exposes something way bigger than just one celebrity's legal troubles. This shows us how deep Hollywood corruption really goes and how money can't always buy your way out of everything. So, I want to hear from you. Do you think the judge made the right call keeping Diddy locked up? What do you think about these bribery stories? Are they real or fake? And should 50 Cent be worried about those threatening messages? Drop your theories in the comments because I read every single one, and trust me, some of you have better detective skills than the FBI. I'm keeping my eye on this case to update you as soon as possible. So, make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss what's coming next. This story is far from over, and something tells me we're going to see a lot more crazy stuff come out. Until next time, stay woke and keep questioning everything. Peace out.